Hello, hello, hello!
Hey!
How is it going with everyone? I know a lot of you are already excited and in the chat, and yeah, we just had all of E3 showing a lot of new stuff, so you guys are probably curious of what is coming and what we're doing, and today we're going to show some more things and go into detail about some things, but for the people that missed it, we're going to show the new content teaser again that was shown during the PC gaming show, and then we're going to go into things. What is your favorite so far?
I love the crossbows.
The crossbows are really, really fun. Just stick with them as well. I still think it's disgusting.
Good.
So yeah, a lot of stuff that you've seen in the trailer, and for the people that already watched the E3 interview yesterday on Twitch, they were able to see some other things, like we showed off the hive bomb, we showed off the flare pistol, what else? We had fog. So lots of things coming, but today we're going to talk about some specific things. We're with Dennis and myself, Janneke. And yeah, what shall we start off with? Do you want to dive into things? Or no, we're going to talk about some things that we are going to... Yeah.
So basically what we're going to do is put a bit more context to the stuff that you've seen. Obviously, as part of E3, like it's all trailers, all hyped up, it's quick, short shots. We're going to deep dive a little bit on some of those items. And what's important to understand is as many of those features you've seen, they are upcoming content. Not everything will be released in one go. We actually have a chance to actually span this out across multiple patches and kind of like put nice packages around them. Make sure they come rolling out to you guys more as thematic patches. What we're going to do today is going to look specifically at the first of these content patches and the package we're going to reveal now.
Yeah, so there are some things that are not going to be in the video, so let's talk about these real quick. I know that many of you already mentioned the humming theme. This will be in the menu, so a lot of people have been asking about it. It was also a user voice vote, so that's going to be in the menu. We're going to have some things as add a friend option after the game.
Finally.
Something a lot of you asked as well. So after you play the game with someone, you'll be able to add this person to Steam, so your partner that you played with, so you don't get lost and you can't find them anymore, but now you can.
Make new friends.
Yeah, exactly. So we have looting hunters is going to come in that we haven't shown in this video, or we're not going to show today, but the way it works is you kill someone and you're able to grab either some bullets or you get replenish a consumable from your own thing,
exactly.
right?
It's one of the others. So
yeah,
either you get some ammunition back or you can restock a consumable that you've used prior. Like you don't get a completely new random one. It's just basically adding one back that you brought into the mission before. So there's like, I think it's like a 25% chance for that to happen compared to the ammunition, but it gives you, it's the first time we actually allow you to kind of replenish consumables. So we're interested to see like how that kind of plans out in the meta and people coming up with good strategies.
And so what, because I heard Chris mention yesterday that it's also that maybe a health pack recharges, or is it just the consumables? Because like obviously
it's not the tools yet. We might add tools at a later point. At the moment it's just the consumables. So obviously that can mean if you brought a couple of like vitality shots,
yeah,
you can get one of those back as well, or your big dynamite bundle, right? I mean, which would be the best option.
That would be nice.
It's kind of random, so we're going to see a little bit how people react to it, how it all plays out, if people come up with like dominating strategies and then always top up the most expensive items all the time. I think it's a cool addition, and we're going to see how you guys react to it.
Yeah, and then we have two more things. Obviously, faster loading. We're still working on improving the loading times of the game, especially because sometimes people mention that it is rather slow and it takes quite some time to get in a match. We'll keep improving on that, and this is like one of the first steps. And one last thing, mute VoIP on dev. So a lot of you requested to be able to mute your game sound or like in-game VoIP sound when you die, because obviously you don't want to get trash talked, as well as it's not really realistic, because if you're dead, you can't hear anything.
It's basically the whole feature comes with an opt-out. So by default, it's like it has been in the last months. But if you opt out, then it just completely mutes voice over IP, which means you can't hear anyone in proximity anymore. Obviously, if you have it on, you might also be able to tell your partner, if you have one, that there's some players around. But it comes with a trade-off, and people can choose for themselves what's the best option.
Yeah. Okay, then we're going to take a look at the stuff that we have prepared. How likely are we to recommend Google Chrome web browser to a friend or colleague? Well, that is. How
what
likely
was the question?
are you to well, no, the pop-up. How likely are you to oh, they can't see it because we're in front of it. But yeah, we're gonna talk about.
You can make some room for a pop-up. There, can you see a pop-up?
Yeah. How likely are you to recommend? Can I get rid of this? Not likely. I don't want to recommend it. Go away. Okay. So. New content,
yes.
Some things that have already been shown during the E3 trailers and things that haven't been shown yet. So we're just gonna start. We're gonna have hunter poses. As you can see, you'll see 3 hunters right now that look a bit different than your standard hunter poses. Yeah, Dennis, you can explain something.
It's basically what we have now is the option that depending on the tier of your hunters and the equipment they have, they come with like different poses. So they look, obviously the tier 3 guys, they look a little bit more badass compared to like the tier 1 guys who
really badass.
They're a bit more like fresh bloods. Obviously they don't know what's happening, kind of holding tight to the gun, not knowing what to expect, while the other guys are more seasoned veterans. So it's just a visual flavor, just adds a bit more character and a bit more meaning to the stuff.
Yeah. So
and so it's just a small thing, but we're gonna start with the small stuff. But it looks amazing. Like it gives you so much more of a nicer feeling, actually.
Yeah,
like,
exactly. I really like the posts because obviously we've already been playing with this, where you have to cloak the hunter and then he like looks like backwards, where it's like.
Just needs an explosion in the foreground.
Yeah, some Michael Bay into that. But yeah, no, I definitely feel it gives the hunters a bit more personality and just more animated, which is really nice. And I'm not sure if I was correct on this, but it also varies depending on which guns they hold. Right?
Exactly. So all of the weapons have their own unique pose. Obviously, you see, like as you can see in the background, the shotguns kind of have a similar pose. Obviously, the rifle is a rifle. But overall, it's more the tiers that kind of make the real difference. Yeah.
Okay, then we're gonna move on to the next thing. We have Derringer changes.
Yeah. A small change.
A small change, but we're gonna mention.
So the Derringer, how it worked so far in the game is that it was a tool, not a real weapon. So it never competed with your pistols, and just had it as more as a pocket gun with you. Now, what you had as a drawback was it fired all 4 shots in quick succession. It kind of was a burst fire. So which kind of made it a little bit hard to use it tactically. What we changed now is that you can actually fire the barrels individually, which means you have 4 shots close to like basically the damage of like any of the other pistols. It's a bit more like it's a bit of a smaller caliber. So,
would it be weaker or stronger than the silent pistol?
I think it's slightly stronger than a silenced pistol.
Okay.
But they're around the same. It's a weak pistol nonetheless, but obviously if you do a headshot, you do a headshot. So overall, it just gives you a bit more options for that gun. We hope that people will just start using it a little bit more. So if you go for, like, for example, a shotgun kit and a melee kit, you might still bring that 1-2 shot pistol thingy with you. Yeah, so that if it needs to, you can maybe pull off that headshot against the guy sitting in the bell tower.
Yeah, exactly. Lucky. There are, I mean, obviously you guys have already seen the flare gun. That's something that I'm always going to carry with me because it's going to be super helpful. But yeah, we also have some other changes, and that is for a weapon you guys have been talking a lot about lately. And if the video continues, that is the Winfield.
Yes. Yeah. So we, as you know, the last patch, what we did with the Winfield is we kind of like boosted it a little bit. We made sure that because it's one of the only weapons that some new players have access to, that it is kind of competitive.
Yeah.
And while we were happy with the changes, obviously in the meta, it also kind of shifted the Winfield to be like the jack of all trades gun. Like it's a very flexible weapon. Lots of ammunition, decent damage. I mean, it shoots like pistol cartridges, but I mean, as you know, even the pistols are pretty deadly in our game. So it was kind of a good all-rounder, and I put like the other weapons a bit like into the shadows. Now, what we didn't want to do for this patch is actually to lower the damage. So we're gonna keep on running with the current damage. And keep on like just looking a little bit further how this goes on the meta side. But what we always felt is that they felt a bit too samey. So both of these guns are just like there. It wasn't really a big difference. So as a slight change for this patch from the balancing side, we kind of made them feel a bit more different. So when we have the Winchester or the Winfield, we call them in our game, C version, which is like the compact version, you can see like it's a lightweight weapon. It's like the one on the bottom of the screen.
Has 7 bullets.
Has 7 bullets, like only like a demi magazine, and obviously, because it's not so heavy, it kicks a little bit more. So what we did, we kind of increased the recoil of that one slightly, so there's a bit more upkick now. And compared to the full-blown Winfield, we basically have like 15 rounds in that one. It's a bit more front-heavy. It's a bit cumbersome, more bulkier weapon. So what we did instead for this one is we actually have the randomization after a shot has been fired to go to like a different endpoint after the recoil had kicked in. We kind of made it a bit stronger. So the idea is the Winfield's C is a bit harder to control in terms of it kicking up, while the Winfield's full is basically just a bit harder to do follow-on shots with. So like you might take a moment to kind of readjust your aim on the target between shots.
Not directly spam.
So that hopefully should address one thing which is important in our game, which is the balance of the Winfields. Just like the compact bullets in general, they're meant to be effective only at really close range. So obviously if you do a headshot, that carries over longer distances, but like body shots, arm shots, etc., you shouldn't be able to like kill someone with like 2-3 shots at like 40, 50, 60 meters. Now with these changes, it's a little bit harder at those distances to also land these hits. So we're going to roll it out, we see how people react to it, and we might do some further changes to the Winfields moving forward, but at least they don't have their own distinct character, and even if it's just a minor nudgy change, it actually is pretty cool.
Okay, nice. Yeah, don't worry, we still will do tests, and even if there have to be changes later on, we will do them. This is just a first step into making sure that everything becomes a more unique, balanced.
This is the great thing of early access, right? I mean,
exactly.
we can throw something out, we can see how people react to it, adjust it, see how it fits into our plans. I mean, very often there's other features connected to it people might not see when we first release something, but I think it's something people should feel that we are reacting to and listening to and adjusting.
So
sometimes over and then going back again the next patch.
Exactly. So I just also want to say, I think it would be good to say a lot of people were worried when they saw the trailer and the B-roll that a lot of things seemed very overpowered. Obviously, it is a bit recorded so that it shows what it does when it gets a kill. So don't worry. A lot of you said, oh my god, this is too OP. Oh my god, this is too OP. But we will make sure that everything feels balanced and it doesn't do too much craziness.
Yeah, we're for example fully aware of the concerns, for example, with like things like the crossbow that has explosive bolts, right? I mean, obviously we don't want a new tube in the game. Like we want to make sure there's some skill with it. We want to make sure that there's actually like a drawback. For example, crossbows in general, you won't be able to refill ammunition from boxes. That's a very big drawback. You need to go and pick them up. Obviously, with an explosive bolt, there's nothing to pick up afterwards. So we're looking into that. There's balance in this, and what you see in the videos, as Janneke said, is basically not always fully tuned yet.
Yeah, and I don't know if this is going to be also with the next patch. I know that the Winfield got a bit more expensive.
Yes. So that's just as part of our shop pricing updates. We felt that the full-blown 1873 Winfield actually was almost on the competitive level of like a Vetterli. Yeah. Like where it traded firepower for a lot more ammunition. So we kind of brought the price from the full-blown Winfield up a little bit. So the small one, the C1, still kind of remains in the lower 20s, early like 50s basic for some of the variants like sniper, etc. But the full one kind of competes a little bit more with the Vetterli rifle and the variants.
Makes sense.
So I think it's like around 80-ish, and then obviously variants like the Talon might go up to like 100. The exact prices you'll see a little bit later
in the game eventually. Okay, so what comes next? We have, I think it's so
dev screens.
Dev screens. I mean, let's just take a look about it, and then we'll talk a little bit behind it. You'll be able to see multiple dev screens depending on obviously what happens to you. Here you're killed by an armored, so you know that you have been destroyed by an armored. Here you've been destroyed by player X. Dynamosin is his name right now. You see his rank, and he was killed by an explosive barrel with a certain distance. Here, I'll just pause it real quick. You're killed by this person, this rank, from this distance with this weapon, and how are you killed with a headshot? Yep. What other options do we have besides headshot?
We have also wall. Exactly, whether it's through a wall. So, and obviously it can be combined, so you can get a headshot through a wall. Yeah. But the idea is basically to kind of reveal the mystery a little bit. So what was so far in the game is that you just died. You didn't know exactly what. If you missed the guy sneaking up on you, you might just be dead in an instant. And while there's obviously tension in that, and we want to make sure that Hunt remains a very strong game where the lack, the deprival of information, like not knowing if you scored a kill, not knowing who is left with you in the mission, that's super important. This is not gonna change. The game lives and breathes because of these features. It adds this healthy level of paranoia to the game.
And I also think it clears up a little bit of because I know a lot of people are often frustrated because their hunters are worth a lot and they put a lot of effort in, that they want to know what happened to my hunter, or they feel like, oh, the shot is kind of strange, or, then you have a better understanding of like, oh, this person was actually really close, or this person was actually really far and landed a headshot. I think that will answer a lot of people's questions as well and make them feel maybe less frustrated about why they lost a hunter.
Exactly. I mean, what you have to keep in mind is that at the end of the day, Hunt is also a match-based game. Like we do have a match. There is a clear objective. It's like finding the bounty, extracting. There's a limited time to do so. It's not a persistent open world, and therefore the game needs a certain amount of structure to it. But obviously within that, we want to give the players as much freedom as is possible and kind of use their wits. Be careful, listen to stuff, paint that kind of like picture in their head with the information they're going to take in. And when you're dead, however, it's perfectly fine to know a little bit more what exactly happened. Exactly.
That's something, and I think that we can just quickly ask that right now. People say, because this obviously shows that you're down, you're not dead. Is that, why do we have it in right now where you also are down? Like,
we have it in there for that as well at the moment, just to kind of like see how people in general react to the feature. We're flexible with this one. If in the end we figure out, like, you know what, when you're down, we don't want to show it yet, because I mean, obviously there's valid concerns about, hey, but I can just talk to my partner and I can let him know, and then he kills the other guy. Then again, there's different sides to it, right? On one hand, it kind of discourages campers. So after you kill someone, you better move because they might know about it. So it definitely helps with that problem. But on the other hand, also, like, obviously a solo has a bit of a harder time against a team because a teammate might just talk about it. It's just combining that a little bit and finding the right balance. That's still what we need to do.
Yeah, I think it would be good. Like, personally, I don't know if when you're down, if that would be indeed a good way. But obviously, we test everything on the test server. So let us know what you think. And then we can deal with things.
Play with it.
Yeah, exactly. Like, let us know what it is. I don't know if we have really much to say still about the death screens, but yeah, I think this is something that a lot of people requested. Also because they just, as I said before, hunters are worth a lot. You want to know what happened to your precious level 50 that you've filled up, but yeah, we're gonna go to the next thing.
The flare gun
you've seen in the video, which is the flare gun. As you can see, you shoot a flare. Now, we did have it changed a little bit in the meantime while we shot the video that you saw yesterday. If you've seen it, the flare gun will be a bit less bright, right? That's
it's like some minor tuning to like the light cone and basically how this whole flares out. So in general, like the flare pistol, there's really not too much that we need to say about it. It's pretty straightforward.
I really like it.
What's really cool is like it kind of plays into the sandbox gameplay we have. Like, so you can obviously use it to set things on fire, and there's like quite a lot of things to set on fire, starting from like nice little barrels over like enemies, like two players.
For me, this is my when we were playtesting, I always take this because it's so helpful if you don't have a lantern around you and you want to kill that armor that's defending your clue. Like, it's perfect. It's really nice.
It's basically, think of it like fusees with range.
Yeah.
There's one difference between the fuses. So you might ask, like, oh, why should I ever bring fuses again? Well, fuses burn for 10 minutes. The flare pistol burns for 30 seconds.
Yeah.
So it comes down to do you want to like illuminate an area or like kind of like blind people for a longer time? Like for example, common strategy is like kind of like throw like the fuses around the exit so you can kind of extract safely. With the over brightness, kind of like discouraging people from sniping you. With the flare gun, is more of a run and gun tactical weapon, right? You can use it as an opportunity weapon. So it's like, oh shit, there's someone on the roof somewhere. Okay, fire one up and then see. So
people ask, can we burn down players with the flare gun?
So as you remember, like in one of the last patches, we accidentally had a bug in there where the fusees were able to kind of like burn corpses. We fixed that because that's not really intended. If you die in fire, obviously yes, you might burn to death. Because to be fair, your partner probably won't be able to reach you anyways to revive you. However, with like the fusees and the flare and all these other burnable things, we don't want to completely destroy.
Yeah, exactly.
That's not a permadeath guaranteed thingy.
Okie dokie. Then we come to something that you guys have been very excited about, the hype bomb.
The hype bomb.
The hype bomb. No, the hype bomb. And here we've just, obviously this is staged. This is not exactly that people will just stand still, but the way the hive bomb works, you throw a hive bomb and it will follow the closest like hunter, or does it also follow AI, right?
No.
No?
So
Okay.
so it's basically a complete player only weapon. So one of those nice little things we add in to hunt down campers, because that's fun.
I mean, you can see how good it follows. Like, I love this. Obviously, as I said before, it's staged, but the way it like follows the hunter completely, it's really good.
Yeah. So the way we tune this is, I mean, first off, it's a consumable. So you kind of use it. It kind of competes with, like, for example, the big dynamite bundles and all these other weapons which kind of instantly kill you. So it's perfectly fine for it to also have a certain power, because otherwise it's not going to be used so much. For example, one thing we already want to look at a little bit in the future is to kind of do some changes to the poison bomb, because since we introduced it, it's one of the lesser used weapons.
Yeah.
Again, it shows you like how easily an otherwise actually pretty cool item could be trumped just because in the meta you'd pick something else.
Yeah.
Now, to give the hive bomb its place, we primarily want to use it as a player seeker weapon. So what it does is it tries to figure out where the next player is. If you can seize it, once you've thrown it, kind of bursts. You see the swarm kind of sitting on there for like a second or two before it kind of homes in, and it gives you an idea where the guys might be.
You can see that really, really well here. I just want to go back. Yeah, where he throws it, you see it waits a little bit, and then you just like it dives in. It's really, really nice. I like it.
There's easy ways to counter it, right? Just break line of sight before it actually even goes for you. Like if you react to it quickly, you will be able to just bypass it. Also, it's not a weapon that will insta kill you. Like the idea is that like if you get really lots of exposure to hive swarm, it maybe takes half your health away. Obviously, it leaves you in a poison state, so there's other drawbacks to it. But we want to make sure that this is not meant to be like a guaranteed homing missile kill thingy. It's more actually like a discovery weapon. Like, okay, where could he be hiding? Kind of flush him out a little bit, give you some breathing room before you run in.
Is this action infinite? No, it's just as using a big dynamite bundle or a dynamite bundle. So you have up to like as many slots as you have tool slots. Consumable slots.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So yeah, you can have up to 4 max, depending on what trait you use.
Yep.
So yeah. I mean, was there anything else you want to share about the hive bomb?
No.
So far, so good. That means we're going to the bear traps.
Yay, new traps. So
yeah.
This is actually something which is really, really cool. We kind of added the option for players to kind of like set up traps, lock down places. It's cool for defensive gameplay.
So these are on the map. These are not things you take yourself, but you'll be able to find them around.
Just like the lanterns and sledgehammers and all the other things. So as you can see, if you don't pay attention now, you might trap into one of those.
Exactly. So it takes a bit. And then we see someone going. He comes in and gets snapped. So when we recorded this, the damage was a little bit different as it is now.
Yeah, there's some tuning to it.
Yeah. So can you explain it a little bit?
So the idea of the trap is that it's not supposed to be a lethal trap. It's supposed to kind of reveal the position. You hear like the metallic clank sound as it kind of snaps together. So as you're trying to defend an area, you might just put one on the door, one in front of the window, and that way you might actually hear if someone is approaching you. Now there's ways to disarm them. You can just like go and press a button when you close, or you just melee them, or if you're even from a distance, throw decoys at them, and it kind of confuse the guy who set them up. So you can kind of use that mechanic against them also. And obviously, once you get hit by it, it does a bit of damage and kind of does bleeding damage. So if you don't take care of bandaging, then you will obviously continue to lose health.
Yeah.
So it's a bit of more of a harassment thingy. It's not supposed to be like as I said before, like to be like some punji trap thingy where it actually insta kills you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's pretty much. I really like using the bear traps because it is indeed when you're, for example, getting ready to kill the boss. During our playtest, we had some bear traps sign up, so like on every side of the compound, the building actually in the compound, and it was like really nice. So you knew like, okay, there's someone coming up there. Let's quickly get there before.
It's also pretty cool against AI. Like so, if you see one laying around, there's an armored coming for you. If you just place that in front of you, it just basically destroys legs, which means you slow down, etc. And like normal grunts, etc., just die from them. So you can still use them tactically for that, but obviously other players can also just use decoys, lure AI into them, and then kind of like use them against you.
Yes, you can rearm them. As I said, you can just like hit them, or you can use something as decoys. As you said.
And just pick them up again. You place them again, so they can't be destroyed. They're just basically primed or in a relaxed state.
Okay, then we go to the Tomahawk trait, which is really awesome because obviously, as Angela said during the stream yesterday, a lot of people wanted to be able to throw axes or the sledgehammers that we have on the map. So you just see someone and you're like, okay, let's give him hell and throw an axe at his face. So yeah,
this is a bit of our secrets. One of the really funny ones, from playtesting, like people just been like throwing axes and hammers everywhere now. It's really, really fun. It gives you a bit of a multi-use. You can actually play with it a little bit, and it requires skill. That's the thing, right? I mean,
yeah, we re-recorded it quite so often to get the height right, because like you were expecting, at least that was what I was expecting, that the head was above the crosshair, but it had to go lower because it kept going through the head. So it was a lot of re-recording, but yeah, it is really fun. Like even if you miss, it's just, yeah, exactly. It feels very satisfying. Even if you throw, it's like, I'm throwing this axe. So yeah, and it is a trait. So yeah, do you know what level it unlocks in the Bloodbrain?
I don't have the top of my head, but I think it's in the early 30s somewhere. It's not so far out. It might be 30s, 40s. Again, the patch notes eventually will tell us more.
So people saying not answering any details, but we're doing a Q&A after the session. So like now we're going through everything, and then after we have everyone to ask questions, because like now we can look at the thing and then we can check the trait. The cost for the trait, do you know that?
Which one was it?
The cost of the trait.
The cost of the trait. I think it was like 3 or 4. It's not that much.
Like most of them.
Yeah. It's not going to be one of those 8 or 10 ones or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. It's a fun trait. Let us ask questions. So another trait where we don't have a video for, but it's a new trait called the Beast Face, which simply just makes it that the how do I say it, like the
animals, the
aggro range of the animals will be lower, which is for every animal except for the hellhounds, because they are actual like
enemies. Yeah, enemies. But like the dog pounds, for example, or like the chicken coos and the horse, all of these animals lying around, the ravens, obviously, or the crows rather. All of those basically lets you get a little bit closer without freaking out instantly. So if you have that trait, you can just be a bit more stealthy, ninja-y around these creatures without necessarily always alerting them. Obviously, the moment you jump around and sprint around next to them or fire your weapon, obviously they still go off. But if you're careful, you can sneak a little bit closer now.
So we don't have to kill that many horses anymore. Peter will be satisfied.
Or you can kill them now without them actually going alert first.
No! Don't listen. Okay, that means that we're going to something special. And that is the Dark Side
Boost. Yeah, that's going to be the big one. Maybe we pause it quickly and talk a little bit about it. So, CJ mentioned already a bit on the E3 streams yesterday. Basically, as you know, this game has still a bit of a camping issue. We are moving step by step, trying to resolve that, make sure that people are being encouraged to go and actually follow the mission structure, like enjoy and play the game as it's supposed to, in terms of going in for the bounty, killing the bosses, extracting, getting all the extension, all the tension from that one.
Yeah.
So the Dark Side Boost is our next step to kind of like encourage people, bringing incentives, go for the boss. So how this actually works out is that if you kill the boss and you banish him, and the banish is completed, once you pick up the bounty, you will get a temporary boost to your dark side.
Yeah. So it's a 20-second.
A 20-second timer.
Yeah. So, but as you use it, it runs out. So you have to make sure that you use it when you want to use it. So do you use it at the start when you just kill the boss, or are you going to use it when you're going to extract? Exactly. It all depends on like how much time you want to spend on like getting through certain situations.
Now, what does it do? So basically, what it does is it kind of shows other players through walls within a certain proximity. So you won't be able to see across the entire map, but I think it's around like roughly 100, 150 meters, which is coincidentally the size of a typical compound we have.
Yeah.
So that if you are now down in the arena, you went in, you killed it, you went through all the effort. What happens right now without Dark Side Boost is very often you kind of take a risk opening that door to leave, right? There might be those like 5 guys lining up their weapons and just like shooting you to pieces the moment you step out.
Because they were too pussy to go for the boss. Yeah, exactly. You know who you are.
So with this feature now, actually, we kind of like turn the tide, like the hunter becomes the hunted. So the guys that didn't dare going in first now actually will have a bit of a harder time. Again, temporary, it's not forever, but it allows you to kind of like push out.
Yeah.
You open up dark side, you kind of see, oh, there's one on the west side, but you know what, the east side is actually clear. Let's run out the east side instead. Or you know what, let's go after the guy. We might have a drop on him because we kind of see him, and he only sees the rough lightning strikes around us when we carry bounty. At the moment, the effect carries over when you pick up the bounty, so everybody who carries bounty will initially get those 20 seconds. Moving forward, one of the plans we have for this is to actually have this live on the bounty itself, so it kind of like depletes with the bounty, so that if you are the one picking up early, you might have more from it. Someone who kind of ambushes and picks up later actually then has maybe nothing or just a few seconds left.
Yeah, so it is each person that holds a bounty. So exactly, if both you have a bounty in your team, then you both have that dark side in each your own second.
Exactly. Yeah. What's really awesome with this is that we see now in the playtesting we did a lot more defensive gameplay. So where before people were kind of reluctant to kind of go in and kill the boss and do the banishing.
Yeah.
Now, if you do that, you want to protect it. You want to protect the banishing side, because if they kill you, then they can have the bounty on the way out and have the benefit. But if they don't press in, so if they just continue camping around, you have the advantage. So what we saw a lot happening in the playtesting is that people kind of pressing the attack. So we saw a lot more like flash bombs being used, or also like the defenders kind of using concertina bombs to kind of seal off certain entrances and kind of like sit down and wait for it to finish to then turn the tide. So it was a pretty dynamic change.
Yeah, I really like that.
And it kind of shifted the camping, which is part of the game to a certain extent, to a healthy camping, which is around the objective.
Exactly.
And,
especially because that's the thing, a lot of people were very reluctantly to go for the boss because they were like, I'm too revealed, people know where I am, you see where the banishing happens, you see the lightning, so you should, it's pretty easy to follow someone who has a bounty. Obviously you don't say it exactly, but like even with the boosts, like yes, you see it a bit more directed than the lightning strikes, it's still not that you directly see like this is exactly where he is.
Let's show it.
Yeah, let's show it. So we have 3 scenarios. So like you just got the boss and there is someone. So as you can see, you have the timer counting down for the 20 seconds minus you use it. So it stops whenever you're not using it. And we got some other things here, as you can see. That
so
ladder wasn't there before.
Yeah, maybe they noticed all the other things. What could have changed here?
An extra staircase?
Oh my god, more anti-camping level changes.
Hey. So yeah, you see someone in the
Another guy in the field,
Yeah, what are we gonna do? So he looks, there he is. And
Perfect.
kills it. Totally not scripted, by the way.
No, absolutely. This was live recorded.
Live recorded,
yeah, absolutely.
yeah.
Like no
Totally
staging whatsoever.
No. So yeah, we have one here in the tower with the good old Winnie. Watch out, those. Not staged. So yeah, I just want a little tiny bit so you can clearly see. So yeah, you're here at the extraction. You see the light from your carriage. And obviously, you have the bounty, you have 6 seconds left, and you want to see if there's some campers around. So you use that boost. There is someone sniping in the bushes.
You could kind of see also the imprecision from it, right? So it doesn't give you like an exact position.
Exactly.
It's more suggesting like where exactly he could be. So within a few meters, like 10 to 20 meters sometimes over distance, it kind of like is a bit inaccurate. So you can't just like aimbot through walls then.
Yeah, and it expired. So like after the 20 seconds are done, you can't use it.
Yeah. In a 2-boss mission, so what happens is if you pick up the first bounty from the first boss, obviously you have your 20 seconds.
Yeah.
You might need to use that as you look for the clues for the second boss, but the good thing is at the moment you pick up the second bounty from the second boss, obviously you get another 20 seconds.
Yeah.
It doesn't stack up, it just refills the 20 seconds total, but you have a chance to kind of like chain it a little bit and go through multiple instances.
Yeah, so a lot of
boosting. Yeah, I mean it's a cool, awesome feature. It addresses a very specific part about the camping problems we've observed in the game, and what it doesn't do obviously is prevent camping in other places. So we still have other issues, and we're still working on solutions for those. For example, what happens if you spot the boss and you just camp around the boss before anyone comes? Obviously, this doesn't necessarily address this too much. It does a little bit in terms of if you don't notice the other guys going in,
exactly.
You might actually then be at a disadvantage because they sneak through, kill the boss, and fortify. But it's not the perfect solution for that problem.
No.
There's going to be more about that in the future.
No, I definitely, because I mean, obviously we've been play testing a lot. In my opinion, I don't think it's very overpowered. I mean, it's also because like I'm a person that always goes for a boss. Like I'm never like I'm gonna wait it out, you know, like until they bring it to me. No, I actually like to get into the action, and I do feel it is nicer because like you feel a bit more secure about like, okay, I'm already putting myself in the spot by going for the boss and killing the bounty, losing health. Well, I mean, obviously you regain the health, but like losing ammo. Maybe you already used all the ammo boxes, so it just gives a better way to get out. But like we also had a playtest. I think it was yesterday, and I did not expect because me and my partner got the bounty, and we ran to another compound. And at the beginning of the compound, which was actually funny enough, Stillwater, we were in the cornfield. Sorry, mice is Dutch. Cornfields, and we were looking around, and I didn't see anything. And then eventually, we got to the other side. Oh, nice. We got to the other side of the compound, and there was actually someone who killed us because I was like, my partner died, and he died to an AI. He did before that, but I went to res him, and then I got shot by a aftermath, which was not really fun. And we just had no idea because like it was a good like level. Yes, mice. I don't know why. I always feel that mice sounds pretty English, so I always say mice field. But anyways,
lots of little mice in there probably though.
Yeah. Mice. Yeah, it is Dutch. But that way it's definitely not like the distance is good. Like it's definitely not like, oh my god, I see someone on the other side of the map. And I think it's good. Like I really like the boost. It's a really cool feature. But we have some updates on our roadmap.
Yeah, maybe we just load up the roadmap. So
yeah, let's do that.
As it's E3, it's the time of revelations and announcements. I also took the time to actually kind of like update our roadmap a little bit. So just give you like an insight. Yeah. We won't go through all the details. You can do it yourself. You can just go to huntshowdown.com/roadmap. And you can see all the deals there. So what I've been doing is we kind of like remapped all of the roadmap features a little bit, added a couple, moved them a little bit around now that we understood like when we can deliver certain features, etc.
Yeah.
So as you go through, we just can maybe open a few one. Like you see, short term, less than 4 weeks, dark side boost.
So just to quickly explain, because like obviously at first we were going to do bigger patches and like bigger stuff at once. Now we've decided to go with smaller patches so we can deliver more content, but add it as it goes, and it gives you guys a faster chance to dive into new content because obviously people always want more content. But also makes it easier for us because then we can focus more and better on those smaller patches. So yeah, we have the boost, 100 dice option to watch your partner. So this is going to be very short term, huh?
Very, very short term. Yeah. Suspicious.
I'm actually surprised about it because I haven't tested it yet. But obviously the dev screen, add a hunter as a friend, tier loadout, different things.
Yeah, you can see like some of the weapons, like crossbows being specifically mentioned here. For other stuff, we just keep a bit unspecific. You've seen a few things. We have a couple more in lined up.
Yeah. So obviously we have the Water Devil. Now everything you've seen today will be at least in one patch. So like the Water Devil won't be in the first upcoming patch. Yeah. But as you can see, the Water Devil is closer than 4 weeks away. So you can imagine.
So just take your time, just browse through the roadmap, give us your feedback about it.
Yeah,
like if you see anything that is interesting for you, just let us know. We might do a stream about it maybe at one point.
Exactly. And I just want to point out, because like obviously a lot of you have been requesting a lot of features. I don't know if we can quickly go to our feedback page, because we have already added a lot of things that you guys asked, especially with this patch that's coming up, like the dev screens. The looting has been very highly requested. I think the spectate mode was the #1 request that we had from people. We had, the humming sound. We had a lot of things actually.
Optimizations, performance for the stuff.
Optimization, but
yes.
like obviously that is
ongoing.
Ongoing, but yeah, what do you guys have for questions? Because obviously we're here to answer all your questions that you have. If our feedback page wants to load, our internet sometimes likes to bug out. There we go. Let me see if we can go to general feedback and then top. So yeah, South America servers, we know we are on it. I know a lot of you people have requested South American servers right now, and we keep hearing your feedback. We are on it. We just have to figure out lease and everything to get the right company and make sure that it's all possible as soon as possible. But we are on it. Know that it's important.
Oh, how interesting. Like 251 votes for a boost or a buff for banishing killing the boss. We should look into that maybe.
Maybe we'll add a boost. But yeah, so the boost, that's something we have right now, not yet, but let me see. I don't know if we can see everything. I want to see it all. So Reconnect, obviously we have worked on making it better so that you don't lose hunters as easily as you used to do in the past, and in general the quality is improving, so that's not a thing. Where is the boost? I think it might be under everything. But yeah, kill cam, I mean, we don't have a kill cam, but we have the
dev screens at least,
dev screens, and obviously we have the
there was a boost
mode. Yeah, the boost that we already have. But yeah, there's a lot of things to come, so I'm very excited. But yeah, ask us all your questions. Why the boost is tied to the bounty and not the boss skill? Wouldn't it push the players into the boss firefight?
We thought so, but the thing is, we want to actually have a bit more of a tension during the banishment. Like otherwise, if it would come too early, so if you actually have the boost upgrade already during the kill, then the whole banishing is going to be the same as it is right now.
Yeah.
People would just be waiting outside, because why would they push in? There's no need to do so. Everybody would just back away a little bit to the safe distance and kind of see if they can ambush on the way out of the exit later on. By pushing it a little bit later into this mission objective flow, but just saying like, you know what, it is bound to picking up the bounty, we actually ensure that there is a lot of tension actually to up to that point when it becomes available. People can race for it. They kind of go in and see if they can maybe surprise the team currently waiting to pick it up.
I was trying to find the humming theme so we can have a little bit of sound in the background, but yeah. Oh god, we have a lot of questions. Solo queue. I mean, we have.
CJ talked about it a little bit at E3. So basically, we have two additional modes that we are looking into at the moment. One being the solo mode, and the other one being nightmare mode. You're gonna reveal a bit more information about each of those moving down the line. But at the moment, it looks like we're gonna try those out first as part of an event. So expect sometime down the line, maybe not too far in the future, actually us providing a solo event where you would have just single team players, solo players in the same map. So whenever you find an enemy, you could be assured that he is a solo player.
Yeah, exactly. And the reason that we didn't mention it right now is because we were focusing on the things that we have right now, or like as soon as possible, rather than something that's coming a bit further down the line. But yeah, solo queue is asked a lot. Better prestige rewards. You know, can you jump over a trap? I don't think so.
You can actually jump over it.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. If at the moment jumping kind of works for it, but I mean, it also comes down to how do you place it. I mean, I like where you're putting them on the other side of windows, and there's no jumping over that one.
Yeah, that's true. What is the range of the hive bomb? How far from a hunter is it still effective?
I don't have the top of my head all the numbers for it, but I think at the moment, like the throwing range obviously is very close to firebomb or the other explosives, so they can have the same ballistic curve. As it bursts, as you throw it, and kind of like the glass shattered and the swarm is free, it will sit there for like, I think it's like a second or two, and kind of like be a bit confused what the fuck just happened. And from that point on, they're gonna home in on a target. I think the target range at the moment is like 10-50 meters or so. So if you throw it into a building, there's a high chance they're gonna home in. However, if you manage to go behind cover, like break line of sight before they kind of like realize what's going on and find the target, you should be safe. So even within 2 meters, if you go around the corner in time, they won't be coming for you.
And they will also come for yourself if you throw it sometimes.
Yes, yeah. So that is
be careful with that, because that happened to me.
That's a risk. So be careful how you throw it. Both you and your teammate have a slightly higher like grace saving period, like so they won't attack you with a priority. But obviously, if you just like throw it in front of you and just don't move around, eventually that swarm will come for you.
Yeah. Why no root plays in place with the bear trap? So why do we not hold them in place rather than that we do damage?
Ease of implementation. So we're looking into synced animations moving forward. We want to see that like we kind of put that a little bit into the game at a later point. At the moment, the best way for us was to just basically have it cause damage as an event-based thing, so we could get it into the game. But obviously, yeah, I mean, it's really cool if it kind of like slows players down and does something to them. It's the first iteration of it, and it's mostly focusing around instant damage and the bleeding effect to kind of buy time. And obviously, the biggest point about it is that it makes a lot of noise when it snaps. So it helps you to kind of like keep control of like a boss arena, for example, when you're waiting for the banishing to finish. Even if you're a solo player, you can put it in different areas and kind of listen to when they activate and then maybe respond to the guys trying to break in.
Exactly. I see a lot of people asking for prestige rewards. Do you know what we have planned for that right now?
What was it?
Prestige rewards.
Prestige rewards. We're looking into that still. So what we want to add very soon, and people are already working on that one, is like custom logos and like just something
make
that
it more
exactly feels more personal, like what you achieve. Like it's not just like a number that goes up. But that's still a bit out. In general, though, prestige is about bragging rights. It's a mechanic that is solely with the intent of bragging. So what we don't want to do is put any gameplay relevant stuff in it. So you won't be able to get like the magic golden shotgun or something by just having prestige like 10 times or something like that. It is, as in many other games, more something that you kind of like use to show like, you know, I really care about this game, I really enjoy playing it. And for those people who don't want to like keep on sitting at like the rank 100 and she's going to go through the same challenges again, they can do that and they get some recognition for it.
I know a new map is someone said we are actually working on a new map. Obviously that is still further out, but know that we have a map that we're working on. Event or permanent queue? Well, it starts as an event, the solo, but maybe if that obviously, you know, people are really liking it, we would probably add it as like as a standard mode. Is there still an option for 3-4 squads? I personally don't think at the moment, but maybe in the future.
At the moment, we don't have the plans for doing that. It has a couple of additional things to consider in terms of overall performance, number of players on the server. Also, just like we have AI, right, as part of the whole game, and that also has certain costs to it. So it's not an easy task. We're looking into options, and we would obviously try to explore that further. But at the moment, in the near future, we don't have any plans for it.
Someone destroying a hive bomb in your hand with a gun, is that possible?
Not yet.
But we're
in general, one of the changes we would like to do moving forward is that you can kind of have an effect on weapons. At the moment, you can't. For example, if you drop a lantern on the ground, you can't shoot it. It won't go up. Obviously, as part of a sandbox gameplay, it would be really cool if you could place a lantern somewhere, etc. We're looking into some options down the line, and obviously, like fire bombs or the hive bomb in your hands could be cool. Other options for that, but it's a bit too vague. We can't really commit to it right now, but we would love to.
Hive bomb does not work on water. Yes, it is.
Yes.
I know that people were asking, are we planning on adding new bosses?
Yes. Moving forward, we want to have more bosses, more enemies. The first new one you will see in the not too near future, but coming. Is the water devil. You've already seen it at the E3 trailer.
But that's not a boss. It's
a new AI, and then obviously new bosses and additional AI is also going to be there.
Then a question for me, I think people might be interested to know why a new map first rather than a new boss.
It's different people working on it. So we have our character team, we have our level designers, we have our environment artists. It's just different specialists working on different parts of the game, and they're working in parallel, and all of these things are moving forward at the same time.
I know that someone said for any updates on the banners. So the reason we haven't done anything with it is because, as you saw, we have the dead screen which shows names. We wanted to test it more with the new and upcoming features, so obviously we'll still be getting feedback from it and like gathering like feedback from you guys, but first we had to add that before we could do more action. So
think of it as a combined package. As I said initially in the beginning of the stream, it's like, think of Hunt not only as a realism simulator, think of it also as a match-based game. And while, again, just to stress it out because it's super important for us, this game lives from not telling people stuff. This game lives and breathes from the healthy paranoia of not knowing if all of the players are dead, or if that guy might be just like hunting you down while you don't see it. Like not being able to see the kill messages like that. Did I really kill the guy? I need to go inside the building and actually check if there is a corpse. That's a very strong part of the game and something we definitely want to keep. However, we still want to kind of give you a bit more of a personal touch, like make the actions you do in the game a bit more meaningful. And picking up the bounty was a first step for us to try that out, see how that goes in terms of how do people receive that one. It's like it gives you a bit of recognition also. I mean, think of that as well. And the death screens are a second part to it, and we're going to keep on evaluating all of these features and seeing how we can find a healthy balance for them.
Exactly. Can enemies and friendlies pick up arrows if they have a crossbow?
You need to have the weapon to pick up the arrow. But if you and the enemy would both have crossbows, yes, you could pick up each other's crossbows and have an infinite war.
An infinite war. Let's see. So no, we won't have any ammo sharing, right? Because I saw someone spam that only 50 million times in the chat. But no. Any update for nightmare mode? So that we also do in a event first.
So we want to give nightmare enough meaning so it actually feels like a nightmare mode. There will be more details moving forward what exactly that means, and very likely you will see that first as part of an event to try it out and get feedback.
So think about the event sort of like the test server. We try them out and see and gather feedback if people really like it. Obviously, I have a feeling that people are going to like the solo mode. And then obviously, if we have enough players that we can invite it on, we'll add it to the game.
Yeah.
So that counts for the nightmare modes and the single player modes. I know that someone asked, what's up with the fog? Obviously, will this be a different time of day that you'll see during the missions, or how will that work?
There will be more details about fog moving forward, but
Yeah.
it will be an additional time of day. So besides the golden sun setting we have and the night setting, fog will be the third option. So if you play random maps, any of those could come up.
Yeah, and any plans to incentivize the nighttime maps? I mean, I think it just depends on how many bosses there are, but I feel that the nighttime and the daytime are pretty split, that people like playing both.
I think what we see at the moment is
equally.
just from the amount of sessions being played that the majority of the people just like going on random missions, which includes both of them. Obviously, if you're going to pick a mission, being on a daytime setting obviously gives you certain advantages, but also kind of makes you stand out a little bit more. So it's down to personal flavor in a little bit. But I personally, for example, also just like random maps. I just always equip myself and bring maybe some fuses or whatever, just in case there's a night map, and I kind of like it.
And when do we plan to add the dual wielding for pistols?
That's still on the roadmap. We still want to do that, but it's not coming in the near future.
Okay.
But yes.
Is there a reason that we put that on hold?
So we ran into some technical issues. We originally had it. You saw it in some of our very first trailer material, and we're really sad it couldn't make it into the initial release because we really love that. But it will come back. It just takes a bit more time.
No
we need
worries.
to.
You'll be able to do so. Double doors. Can you trigger your own bear traps? Yes, you can trigger your own bear traps. Are we now forced to carry antidote for the hive bomb, or are there other ways to counter it? Well, personally, I mean, during the playtest, I feel that it's still balanced, because like some people want to take a dynamite, and you want to take vitality shots, and you want to take maybe one hive bomb. Like, I never feel that it's has been an abundance of hive bombs, except for the playtest where we're like, take hive bombs because we want to test them. But when we were playing regularly, I don't feel that it was like, oh my god, I have to really worry and have to take all my, vitality shots become now antidote. No, it's not like that.
It's also not the same jack of all trades like a dynamite stick is, right? I mean, you can use it against like the dynamite, you can use it against AI, you can use it to blow up things in the world. With the hive bomb, it's very much specialized. It's the anti-camping bomb, and that's the purpose of it. But means against the bosses or AI, it doesn't do anything. It
doesn't do that much. So, like, obviously, you still want to consider what you want to take. Also, I saw someone. Two mice. I saw someone say, female hunters. Obviously, female hunters is something that we're still working on, but it is definitely something that takes quite some time to make, especially with like all the animations, and we'll have to do rigging and a lot of things. Trust me, I want female hunters too. I know a lot of you do, and we think it's also important to have both, but it just takes some time, and they are being worked on, but it will be a while. Let me see. Any updates on the screen freeze and stuttering? As you might have seen, we have posted on our Discord, which you should join if you haven't yet, discord.gg/hunt showdown, where you can keep up to date and talk to us developers and ask us questions outside of the streams. But yeah, we have posted an update, and we are looking into the freeze and stutter still. We haven't been able to figure out quite yet what it is, because also some people have it for different reasons than others, and like different freezes and stutters. But know that we take it very serious and try to research as much as we can.
It's an ongoing effort, and like in the next patches we'll already have a lot of like optimizations and additional bug fixes that are in there. So
let me see. The tarot cards, what happened to this? What are we doing?
The tarot cards, what could they be? Maybe we find out in one of the next streams.
Let me see, because like a lot of people, I did hear do we have any plans for dynamic weather?
Dynamic weather. At the moment, no plans for that. We can maybe talk about some of the additional weather effects moving forward, but not today.
Do we plan on adding a targeting range? Oh, like a practice range, I suppose he means?
We have something like that planned. Eventually, we want to give players a chance to kind of experiment with stuff a little bit more. It's nothing which comes anytime soon, but yes, it's there is merit to it.
Yeah. Controller support. I know that it's something we
have it on the roadmap. Eventually, it will work.
Yeah, but as we are still PC mainly, we'll definitely just focus on that.
Well, what we're focusing on at the moment is primarily, obviously, getting the core loop done. Like the main mission beats. We talked about the camping. We talked about like optimizations. We talked about just like additional content, etc. So we're focusing on just kind of making that like a really nice rounded experience, and then obviously more niche, separate features, like for example controller support, they will kind of fall in between those a little bit where time allows.
Where did you get the inspiration of the glowing hands? So obviously, we have different reasons. Obviously, glowing hands is a pretty common thing in like magical settings or fancy settings. Obviously, you made a really cool design, which obviously we've seen too, and we thought really, really awesome. But it was mainly because the colors, obviously we needed something that stands out besides the clues and makes it obvious that you're using it. So we went for orange, orange red. It's kind of both. But yeah, a lot of things actually. Like, I mean,
it's a great opportunity for us to kind of like improve Darkseid. Like when we shipped, basically what we would use Darkseid for is two things primarily, which is finding clues, and then if bounty's on the run, trying to kind of keep track of these guys. Otherwise, it was a bit underused, and we've added like a little bit more use to it, and we plan on doing a little bit more with Darkseid moving forward also.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, because that was also feedback in general that we've heard a lot, that we want to have more options to use our Darkseid. Also, I'm going to go a bit more to the newer questions because like I feel like I'm getting questions. Are crossbows in the next patch? So, like the first upcoming patch would not have the crossbows yet, but that would be the patch after that.
Yep.
So yeah, the things that we discussed right now and shown you are the things that you're going to see. So like the death screens, I mean the looting,
poses, changes to the
humming theme,
exactly.
the flare pistol, hive bomb, bear traps, tomahawk, beast face,
and the boost.
So yeah, that's let me see. New maps and Horizon. Yes, we have. Can I throw a bomb at my friend's back and is he going to be a walking bomb? You mean with a sticky?
With the sticky bomb.
Yeah.
We still have to see if we want to exclude teammates from it, because obviously it invites trolling quite a bit.
Yeah.
However, against AI, against other enemies, yes, you can at least turn them into walking bombs.
Gotcha. Let me see. How long does it take for full release?
So we're still in early access. We said we want to take a good time for early access, so I think we had like a roadmap for around a year or so, and there will be more info as you get closer to that. But obviously, we don't want to release something which is not finished. So
yeah. Any chance for custom matches? Just wondering, it might be fun.
Yeah, so I think we have that on the long-term roadmap part at least. Maybe you can, if you find it in there. It's like, ooh, custom lobby. It's basically giving players an offline mode, like an unranked game. So obviously they're still gonna play validated against the master server. So it's not really true offline, but you can kind of choose who you invite to that.
Exactly.
And so if you want to play with your friends, etc. But we have more information about that moving forward
later. Obviously, it gives us an ability or like an option to answer a lot of questions from the community, because like obviously you could try it like just single or maybe with teams. I mean, it just depends how we're going to implement that, and I think it will bring something for a lot of people, but it just takes a lot to make, and it will be something that will come there eventually. Any new audio traps planned?
We have a couple things in the pipeline, but I'm going to talk about them today.
Can't say anything. Let's see. I saw something. Why not more than 10 people in the match or like on a map? The map was just too small.
Talked about it. Like there's lots of technical issues. We have AI as well as players, so obviously from a performance point of view, we have other restrictions in other games, but. Yeah, we have to see what's possible moving forward.
Is the next batch 4 weeks away from the test or live servers?
I don't know. I think that's actually a very good question.
Yeah.
So when can the people actually play all the cool stuff, like the flare pistol, the hive bomb, the new trades, all the cool stuff we showed today?
What about now?
Yeah, I think now would actually be a good time to do though.
Yeah. Do you guys want to play now?
Yeah.
Like just
Let's just put it on a test server right now. So if you go to the test server right now, you can play it.
Yeah.
Have fun.
I mean, you guys have been waiting, and how about now? But just to say, obviously, make sure you guys give us all your feedback. It is very important. Join our Discord, talk to us, and I don't think you guys are excited enough. I mean,
keep in mind it's the test server, which means things are there for preview. We really encourage you to also give us feedback about it. There's still some bugs, there's still some issues. The patch log, the change notes will be put live, I think, also any moment. So you can kind of read through exactly the details, also what to look for, what still might be broken. And again, test server, great thing. Lay on it.
Let us know. Keep us updated. What y'all think? And I think we're gonna leave you guys to it.
Yeah, they're all gonna go on the test server now, anyways.
Exactly. You guys are done. You don't want to be here anymore. But yeah, definitely, we'll obviously do more developer live streams again. Next week we'll do one, and we'll give you guys always a chance to answer questions. Obviously, we didn't have that many dev streams before because we moved buildings, and now we have this fancy green screen and everything streaming room. But there will be more questions you can ask in other streams, and obviously in the Discord you can always ask us questions. And we'll do our best to answer them. So
cool.
Thank you, Dennis, and thank you myself for being on the stream.
Thanks, guys.
You don't have to thank me. No, but have a good day and enjoy the test server. Bye.
Ciao, ciao.